Shedeur Sanders was caught in a heated exchange with head coach Kevin Stefanski during a tense moment on the Browns sideline. It wasn't just a passing frustration. It was a symptom of a franchise teetering on collapse. As cameras zoomed in, the body language said it all. Sanders, the prized rookie and son of Coach Prime, looked furious. The confrontation played out just after another stalled offensive drive, led by struggling starter Dillon Gabriel, who was sacked twice in that series alone.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
The fans saw what they've been shouting about all season. Internal breakdowns, visible on-field discord, and a coaching staff that appears to be spiraling under pressure. The sideline altercation is just the latest crack in an already fractured Browns foundation. With the team collapsing after a brutal loss to the Jets, the internal dysfunction is undeniable. Gabriel continues to underperform while Sanders, whose talent has impressed since preseason, remains inexplicably benched. Stefanski's leadership is under national scrutiny, and calls for his removal are growing louder with each misstep, with Max B's symbolic appearance and former players joining the chorus of discontent. This could mark the start of a full-blown revolt unless the franchise changes course immediately. What you get when you combine a crumbling football team, a quarterback controversy, a viral sideline argument, and Max be fresh out of prison in a luxury suite. You get the Cleveland Browns, mid-meltdown, mid-season, and mid-chaos. This week's headline disaster. Rookie QB Shedeur Sanders was seen in a heated exchange with head coach Kevin Stefanski during the game, and Browns fans? Yeah, they've officially had it. The drama boiled over after Cleveland's brutal loss to the New York Jets, a team that's been barely hanging on themselves. But somehow, the Browns look worse. With playoffs slowly slipping away and a talented roster going nowhere fast, fans are now calling this team a waste of potential, and they're not wrong. Let's be clear. The Browns are talented. On paper, this team should be competing at a high level. Instead, they're stuck in a cycle of poor decisions, coaching dysfunction, and complete sideline chaos. And while the team falls apart in real time, fans are zeroing in on one massive question. Why is Shedeur Sanders still on the bench? If you've been even halfway paying attention, you already know that Shedeur is not just another rookie. He's the highly hyped quarterback out of Colorado, the son of Coach Prime Sanders, and a presumed future of the franchise. But the Browns haven't given him a single regular season snap. Not one. Instead, they've been sticking with Dillon Gabriel, and let's just say it's not going great. Gabriel's performance against the Jets was rough. He took multiple sacks, missed crucial throws, and looked out of sync the entire game. And it's not like this was a one-time fluke. His struggles have been building all season. But for some reason, the coaching staff continues to ride with him. Meanwhile, Shedeur, who lit up preseason and turned heads across the league, is stuck watching from the sidelines. Until now, during the game, cameras caught Sanders visibly frustrated on the sideline, getting into a clear argument with head coach Kevin Stefanski. It wasn't a quick back and forth. It looked tense, and it happened right there on national television. Fans saw it. Analysts saw it. Twitter saw it. And within minutes, the Browns' meltdown became the week's hottest sports controversy. The fan reaction? Instant outrage. The argument between Shedeur and Stefanski only confirmed what so many already believed, that there's deep dysfunction behind the scenes, that this coaching staff is out of touch, and that Shedeur is being wasted in a situation that's completely self-sabotaging. Within hours, Browns Twitter was on fire. Hashtags like #FireStefanski and #FreeShedeur were trending. Fans flooded the comments of every Browns-related post, demanding change. And they weren't alone. Even former NFL players and national media figures chimed in, slamming the Browns for ignoring the obvious. Gabriel's not the answer, and Shedeur deserves a shot. And just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, enter Max B. Yes, that Max B, the legendary Harlem rapper, recently released from prison, showed up at the game, not just to watch, but to support Shedeur Sanders. Dressed like a boss and seated in one of the best boxes in the stadium, Maxby made his first public appearance since release at a Browns game. That's how far this storyline has reached. Max's presence didn't go unnoticed. Cameras panned to him multiple times, and fans online immediately started drawing a connection. This wasn't just about football anymore. It was about a movement, a call for change, and a signal that Shedeur has major backing, even from hip-hop royalty. Meanwhile, the Browns' sideline was pure chaos. Players visibly arguing, coaches panicking, flags flying, and the body language of a team that's just done. Reports from inside the locker room suggest attention isn't limited to the field. There are real fractures within the organization, the kind that don't just go away with one win. And now, with rumors swirling about Stefanski potentially being fired, things are teetering on the edge. Sources close to the team say that if Cleveland takes another loss, especially against division rivals like the Baltimore Ravens, there's a high chance Stefanski and much of his staff could be gone. That would likely trigger a massive shakeup and finally open the door for Shedeur Sanders to make his debut. The pressure's mounting, and it feels like something's got to give. But here's the thing. This isn't just about one quarterback or one coach. It's about a franchise that's once again failing to manage its own talent. The Browns have seen this story before. Big names, big expectations, and total dysfunction. And right now, fans are watching that cycle repeat in real time. Despite the talent on this roster, they can't seem to get it together. Leadership has become the biggest liability. And when your head coach is arguing with your rookie QB in front of the cameras, it's pretty clear that the trust is gone. How are players supposed to perform when they don't even believe in the plan? Internally, sources say the team is divided. Some want Sanders to start immediately. Others worry about the optics of benching Gabriel midseason. But optics don't win football games. Results do, and right now, the Browns are losing fast. Even worse, the locker room vibe is said to be toxic. That's the word insiders are using. And based on what we've seen on the field, it tracks. You got undisciplined plays, back-to-back penalties, missed assignments, and coaches yelling on the sidelines. This isn't a team, it's a mess. And at the center of it is Shedeur Sanders, the one piece that might be able to save the season. Fans know it. Former players know it. Even national analysts are calling this the most obvious quarterback swap of the year. The only ones who seem to be resisting it? The Browns coaching staff. For now. But if the rumors are true and Stefanski is on his way out, then Week 11 might be the start of a new era in Cleveland. Multiple insiders are now reporting that a coaching change could come fast. And if it does, there's growing belief that Sanders could be promoted immediately. No more waiting. No more excuses. It's not hard to see why. He's not just Coach Prime's son. He's a legit talent. Strong arm, elite instincts, game-ready confidence. And most importantly, he wants it. You could see it in his face during that argument. This isn't someone who's happy riding the bench. This is someone who knows he can win and is tired being told to wait his turn. And honestly, can you blame him? The Browns have tried to play it safe. Stick to the veteran. Keep things stable. But what has that gotten them? Losses, embarrassment, and now, a viral clip of their head coach clashing with the future of their franchise. The fans have spoken. The media has spoken. Even Maxby has spoken. The only question left is, will the Browns finally listen? If they don't, the fallout could be massive. Another loss. Another week of internal drama, and we're talking full organizational reboot. That means staff fired, front office shaken up, and possibly even a complete rebuild of the system. Again, because this isn't just about this season anymore. This is about the identity of the franchise. Do the Browns want to keep being known as a team that wastes talent, mismanages crises, and collapses under pressure? Or do they finally want to embrace something new, someone new, and take a real shot at changing the story? Shedeur Sanders is standing on the sidelines, helmet in hand, waiting. And if the Browns keep playing scared, someone else will give him the shot. He won't be waiting forever. So, Cleveland, it's time to decide. Are you going to ride this mess to bottom or finally bet on the future? If you're just as over the drama as we are, drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Shedeur start now? Or is there something we're all missing? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in this wild saga. Because at this rate, the Browns aren't done melting down anytime soon. And if you thought the saga might cool off during the week, oh no. In true Browns fashion, it only got worse. Because while the media was dissecting every frame of the Shedeur-Stefanski confrontation, the team itself seemed to double down. No public comments. No clarification. Just silence. Which, as every fan knows, usually means one thing. Nobody knows what the hell is going on behind the scenes. Meanwhile, reporters kept pressing. Insiders kept leaking. The tension? Still sky high. And while the Browns refused to publicly acknowledge the argument, fans took it as confirmation that Stefanski's grip on the team is slipping badly. Then came the practice reports. Shedeur wasn't just on the sideline anymore. He was reportedly getting more reps than usual. Now, reps don't always mean anything, but in a week like this, it set off alarm bells. Was the team finally cracking? Was the coaching staff realizing that keeping a potential star quarterback chained to the bench while the season slips away isn't exactly a winning strategy? Because here's what's clear. This team is fractured on every level. You got a locker room full of tension, a quarterback room that's straight up awkward, and a head coach who might not even make it to Thanksgiving. And still, they're clinging to a system that isn't working. Let's be honest. Dylan Gabriel is not a bad quarterback, but he is not playing like someone who should be untouchable. Multiple sacks, missed wide-open receivers, drives that stall out again and again. It's not just a one-off performance. It's a pattern, and it's killing this team. That's why fans are so loud about Shedeur. This isn't just hype for the sake of it. He looked good in preseason. He showed command, confidence, and control. And the way he carries himself, it's not rookie energy, it's leader energy. That's exactly what Cleveland's been missing. But the Browns being the Browns, they've turned what could have been a hopeful storyline into another PR disaster. Instead of gradually integrating Shedeur, instead of building toward a clear transition, they've let the situation fester. And now, it's blown up in public, on live TV, with Sideline shouting in viral video clips. And while the fan base fumes, management is scrambling. According to insiders, the front office is split. Some are backing Stefanski, arguing that switching QBs midseason is risky. Others are calling for a clean sweep. Coaching staff and all, saying the only way out of this spiral is through bold change. And that bold change, it starts with a quarterback. Because there's something poetic, something very Cleveland, about wasting generational talent. This city has seen it all. Potential superstars fumbled by poor leadership. Seasons that started with promise and ended in memes. And now, here we are again. A young quarterback with star potential, benched while the team collapses under a quarterback who can't get the job done. And the fans? They've reached their breaking point. It's not just anger, it's exhaustion. You can hear it in the way they talk about the team now. They're not even shocked anymore. It's just disappointment, layered on top of years of letdowns. And that's what makes this latest drama sting even more. Because for once, they have someone on the roster who could change things. Someone who's hungry. Someone who has the tools. And instead of nurturing that, the team's keeping him buried. It's a metaphor for the whole organization. The Shedeur-Stefanski argument wasn't just about a play call or mistake. It was about all of it. The tension, the decisions, the wasted time. Shedeur doesn't just want to play. He believes he should be playing. And that kind of fire, that's what this team is missing. And when a rookie is the only one showing that kind of energy, what does that say about the veterans? About the coaches? About the culture? Let's not forget, the Browns have been here before. We've seen coaching breakdowns, quarterback swaps, internal leaks, and player drama. But this situation is different because the pressure from outside the team is massive. National media is all over it. Former players are weighing in. Even rival fan bases are mocking the Browns for sitting on a talent like Shedeur Sanders while their season crumbles. And now with Max be making a headline-grabbing appearance, it's almost surreal. The rapper's public support may seem random to some, but in reality, it's symbolic. He's aligning with Shedeur not just as a player, but as a movement, a symbol of change, of breaking the system. And when you got celebrities showing up to make a statement for a backup quarterback, that's when you know the story's bigger than football. It's cultural. It's emotional. It's Cleveland's football identity on trial again. And here's where things get really urgent. The next game? Against the Ravens. One of the toughest matchups of the year. And if the Browns can't pull off a win, everything might implode. A loss could mean Stefanski's gone. It could mean Shedeur finally gets a call. It could mean the start of a whole new chapter. Or the total collapse of the current one. Sources are already whispering that if Stefanski is fired, an interim coach would almost certainly play Shedeur. That's how deep the frustration goes. That's how clear the need for a spark has become. And it's not just about salvaging the season. It's about giving fans something to believe in. Because right now, they're out of patience, out of faith, out of reasons to keep hoping for a turnaround from a staff that keeps making the same mistakes. It's like watching a house on fire while the people inside argue about which extinguisher to use. And all the while, the one guy with a hose, Shedeur, is standing outside being told to wait his turn. If the Browns keep delaying this decision, they risk more than just losing games. They risk losing the locker room, losing the fan base, and losing a player who actually wants to lead. And no matter how you spin it, that would be the real tragedy. So now we wait. Will they finally pull the trigger and let Shedeur take the field? Will they fire Stefanski and shake things up? Or will they keep spiraling, pretending everything's fine, while the world watches a collapse in real time? Cleveland is at a crossroads, again. And like so many times before, the world is watching to see whether they'll choose fear or forward motion. The clock's ticking. And if you think this saga is slowing down anytime soon, think again. Because while the Browns try to act like it's business as usual, fans, analysts, and just about everyone with a working TV can see the writing on the wall. This team isn't just underperforming, it's combusting. Publicly, loudly. And now, thanks to Shedeur Sanders and a sideline standoff, everyone's watching. There's something uniquely frustrating about the Browns' refusal to adapt. You've got a rookie QB with elite potential, a team desperate for leadership, and a fan base practically begging for something, anything, to believe in. But instead of leaning into that, they double down on dysfunction. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash, except the driver keeps insisting they're sticking to the plan. And let's talk about that plan, because that's what the team keeps referencing in vague, deflective press conferences. Whatever that plan is, it sure looks a lot like losing. It looks like mismanaging quarterbacks, failing to adjust mid-game, and letting emotions spill out all over national television. The plan has led to blown leads, sideline shouting, and a complete disconnect between the coaching staff and its players. And now, the most obvious decision in the room, putting Shedeur Sanders under center, is somehow being treated like a nuclear option. Why? Is it pride? Fear of change? Or is it just stubborn coaching philosophy at its worst? It's not just about replacing a struggling QB. It's about correcting course before the season completely slips away. Every week they delay this move is another week they waste Shedeur's development. Another week they alienate fans. And another week they feed into the exact narrative they've been trying to escape for years. And let's be real. Cleveland has been dying for a quarterback savior since forever. The city has sat through draft busts, overhyped free agents, and franchise guys who vanished faster than they arrived. Shedeur, at the very least, represents hope. That rare glimmer of what could be. And for a fan base that's been burned over and over again, that hope matters. That's why this whole situation feels so reckless. You've got a rare opportunity. An NFL-ready rookie, a fan base wanting to move forward, and the organization just keeps kicking the can. But time's up. The Ravens game isn't just another matchup. It's a test. A final exam for Stefanski and this coaching staff. And make no mistake, the scorecard won't be kind. Because if they lose that game, and let's be honest, the odds aren't great, this whole house of cards could collapse. Stefanski could be out. The offensive staff could be gone. And once that happens, you better believe Shedeur's stepping in. Not just because it's the smart move, but because there will be no other option. This isn't about easing in a rookie anymore. That luxury is long gone. Now it's about survival. And Shedeur may be the only shot they've got left. But let's not pretend this would be easy for him either. The pressure? Immense. The expectations? Sky high. The entire weight of a collapsing franchise could be on his shoulders the minute he walks on the field. But the way Shedeur carries himself, he looks ready for it. That's the irony of this whole mess. The player who's supposedly too inexperienced to start might be the most mentally prepared guy on the roster. He's been under the spotlight his whole life. He's the son of Coach Prime, raised on competition, raised in front of cameras, raised to lead. And based on the way he handled that sideline argument, he's not afraid to speak up, even if it means clashing with the head coach. And sure, people will criticize him for that, say he should know his place or wait his turn. But how much longer is he supposed to wait? Until the season's unsalvageable? Until the locker room has completely fractured? Until fans have stopped showing up? He's not yelling because he's arrogant. He's yelling because he cares. Because he sees what's happening and he knows he can help. And honestly, that kind of fire is rare. Especially on a team where so many others look like they've checked out. So now the Browns have a choice to make. Stick with what's clearly broken, or give the kid a shot and finally break the cycle. Either way, the clock is ticking. And the fan base isn't just watching, they're waiting. Waiting for a reason to hope again. Waiting for this team to finally take a risk that's worth it. Because if the Browns don't act now, they won't just lose games. They'll lose something much harder to get back. The faith of their city. And that's not something you can rebuild in the offseason. Let us know. Are you Team Shedeur? Or do you think the Browns should keep waiting out? Drop a comment. Hit that like button. And subscribe if you want every twist in this never-ending meltdown delivered right to you. Because if Cleveland keeps spiraling, you already know we'll be here for every last second of it.